first, I'm John Bachman. President Obama might try to bypass Congress yet again. He could soon lift sanctions placed on Iran over its nuclear program. This according to a new report in the New York Times. The Obama administration believes this is the best way to reach a deal with Tehran that could be lifting the restrictions on oil exports. Those have crippled the Iranian economy. Earlier today, former presidential candidate Pat Buchanan says the move might be controversial, but at this point, the administration might not have a choice.
If the Americans reject a deal that the others feel is acceptable, I think the Iranians will seek to drive a wedge through the alliance.
Buchanan appearing here on Newsmax TV. That alliance includes members of the EU, Russia, and China, and lifting those sanctions, though, would be temporary. A full repeal would require approval from Congress. Now, the fight against ISIS, we take a look here. The Pentagon has started airdrops over the Syrian border town of Kobani. Those drops include weapons, ammo, and medical supplies to Kurdish fighters defending the area against the Islamic State. The operation was a first of its kind. It followed weeks of airstrikes in the area. Secretary of State John Kerry says today that it's irresponsible not to help these Kurdish fighters. In Texas, family members of Ebola victim Thomas Duncan show no signs of the virus after a 21-day quarantine. Also, the first nurse to contract Ebola, Nina Pham, remains in fair condition at the National Institutes of Health in Maryland. And now the family of that second nurse, Amber Vinson, to get the virus, has hired a lawyer. They say the CDC defamed her by claiming she violated travel rules when flying on that commercial jet. Still, health officials in Texas say about 120 people are being monitored for Ebola because they may have had some sort of contact with one of the 3 people who contracted the disease in Dallas. In Ferguson, Missouri, authorities now say forensic evidence in the police shooting of Michael Brown supports the officer's version of those events. Law enforcement officials say the FBI tests show Brown's blood on the gun and inside the car of Officer Darren Wilson. Wilson says he shot Brown after the unarmed 18-year-old approached him and tried to take his gun. That evidence could also complicate the Justice Department's efforts to prosecute Wilson on civil rights charges. That, again, according to several reports. And Pennsylvania police say they have a highly credible sighting of the suspected cop killer, and that is going to provide a new clue in that 5-week-old manhunt. An unidentified woman called police after spotting a man who resembles Eric Freen. She says he was carrying a rifle and had mud on his face. Freen is the lone suspect in the killing of a state trooper. Also, another trooper wounded in that incident. And the NFL has a new touchdown leader. Peyton Manning broke Brett Favre's record, beating the 49ers Sunday night. He needed 2 touchdowns to break the record. He threw 4, giving him 510 for his career. We wish Peyton Manning a lot of success and congrats. And Apple Pay, the digital wallet app, debuts today. It will allow customers to pay for items at more than 220,000 locations. But if you have an older iPhone or iPad, you'll have to upgrade to the new models to use this technology. Another update for you in 30 minutes. Now back to Ed Berliner in Midpoint.